Speaking of the Los Angeles Chargers, I don't think you're going to have to worry about the haters coming for your neck for putting the Chargers in the near top 5, Tony, because I got them at 10. Like I said, like you just said, on paper, they're the best team in the league, potentially. I mean, they have a star at every single position, but I don't trust Brennan Staley as far as I could throw him anymore, and my trust was already slight last year, and I was all in on the Chargers. This team is still a walking handicap plaque. Like, until they stay healthy, I have no faith they're going to stay healthy. It's one of the three. The D-line's going to fall apart, the O-line's going to fall apart, or the wide receiver core is going to fall apart. Now, if all three are healthy, Brandon Staley lets Kellen Moore be the head coach, and he just watches. The Chargers would be a top 3 team or 1.
I just moved the Chargers into my top 5 because Mike's such a hater. Both top.
I'm not a hater. I was overly optimistic last year. I'm not going to make that mistake again because it led to a lot of tears throughout the season, and I don't want to cry anymore. Then at 9, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I think that the Ravens are a contender anytime that Lamar Jackson is healthy and on the field. I think the defense, it can improve this year, especially in the secondary, but I think as the younger DBs will develop and they'll get even better. But the question mark is, can Lamar stay on the field? It has not been the case the last couple of years. And then at number 8, I have the San Francisco 49ers, which is going to piss off Niner fans. But I'm not on the Niners fan side this year. They're starting to become one of my least favorite fan bases very quickly, because if you say even one little negative thing about them, they come for your head. I just think that's the same old shit that we see every year from this team. They have a top flight roster. They're going to have an elite defense, but they're going to be asked to carry the quarterback position, and that hasn't worked in years prior. That hasn't been a formula to success in years prior, so I'm not going to take it to be a formula of success this year. They had so many opportunities to address the QB position this last offseason. Veterans are flying off the shelf like crazy. I mean, Ryan Tannehill would be great in the San Francisco offense, and they went out and gave a defensive lineman another mega contract, and it's like, how much better can the defensive line even get in the first place? At 7, I had the Seattle Seahawks, who I think is going to win the NFC West this year. I think they might have a better defense than San Fran now. They're adding Devon Witherspoon to the secondary that was already growing last year with Quandre Diggs and Tariq Woolen. They got Tony's guy Derek Hall in the second round. They added Dramont Jones early in free agency. Everyone forgets about that. This guy was phenomenal in Denver. Bobby Wagner's back. Jamal Adams is back. They added Devin Bush.
They got the safety Love from the Giants.
Love.
Yep.
You just keep listening. They're about 2 deep at every single position now, and they have a great coaching staff. So I think that defense is going to be very improved. And it comes down to the quarterback in this division when it comes to San Francisco versus Seattle. When I look across the board, and would you take Geno Smith or Brock Purdy with one arm? Would you take Geno Smith or Sam Darnold? Would you take Geno Smith or Trey Lance? I'm taking Geno at this point in time, unless something changes early on in the season. And I also will take Pete Carroll over Kyle Shanahan. So 49ers fans, go ahead and get mad. I got the Seahawks over y'all this year. And then at 6, I have the Buffalo Bills. I think that their championship window is closing, but it is still cracked open because the roster is still loaded. They're all in on offense. They've basically just given up. They said, you know what? We need to just win this thing by scoring as many points as we can against those AFC offenses, because we can't stop them. We can't keep the D-line healthy enough to slow down Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. So I think 4 of their first 5 picks were on the offensive side of the ball. Von Miller's health is a huge deal. If you tell me Von Miller makes it into the playoffs, I think that the Bills go up a few slots for me.
we're not going to spend a lot of time on you dissing the Chargers at 10. That is ridiculous. I can't.
How's that a diss? Top 10's good.
Mike, you don't have to worry about Niner fans coming after you, because after they lose a couple games, they'll all disappear again. Niner fans only show up when they win, and they disappear like nothing, and they'll find whoever the front runner. They'll probably be wearing Eagle jerseys by week 10. We all know it's true.
But look at the draft and compare it to the Seattle Seahawks draft. Niner fans, don't try and convince me that this was a positive draft. Y'all are falling behind the Seattle team.
I got more faith in the Chargers than NFLMike does, who put them at number 10 on his.
It's not a faith problem. It's not a faith problem. It's an expectation problem. And I'm tired, like I said, the tears. I'm tired of wiping my tears at the end of seasons when we blow a 27-point lead, or we lose to the Raiders because we couldn't hold that piece of shit team that year to under 30 million points in that one game. Kellen Moore for president 2024, calling it now. At 5, I had the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that the offense is still going to be crazy. I believe in Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins to carry this thing. But what kept them below a few other AFC teams on this list that might surprise you guys is just the holes at running back, the holes at tight end. There's a little bit in the secondary. I just think that they're really young. They got to prove something still before I have full faith in the secondary. And then at number 4, I actually have the New York Jets. And Tony said it in our text thread a few days ago. Name the weakness. I mean, there is no weakness on this team. I think it would take a lot of injuries or an injury to number 8 now. I was about to say number 12 for this team to go sideways. And Breece Hall coming back, what he did last year to carry this offense when he was healthy. Even if there is some chemistry issues, and it's a big if there are some chemistry issues in the passing game, they can lean on Breece Hall and the defense to get wins early in the year, even when the passing game is coming together. And I say it's a big if because I think that they might gel right away. This is the offense that Aaron Rodgers won multiple MVPs in with the same offensive coordinator. He has similar style weapons out there. He's got the small, speedy guys. He's got some familiarity with Alan Lazard, some familiarity with Randall Cobb joining them today, I believe, or yesterday. I don't even know if there's going to be a growth period or slowly working their way into the offense. The Jets might just hit the ground running, and I think that they're going to win this division. At number 3, and this is a lot of faith in Trevor Lawrence to take that next step. But I think if Trevor Lawrence goes from a guy with potential to be elite to elite game in, game out, giving us the best Trevor Lawrence game in, game out, the Jacksonville Jaguars have a team that can be very, very scary this year. And I know we weren't looking at schedules too much, but I'm just obsessed with being right and coming back to this and going, look at the Jacksonville Jaguars won 13 games. If you go look at the Jaguars schedule, it is crazy. There's only like 5 competitive games on that schedule. And I think that they can beat all 5 of those teams even. So we'll see how the Jaguar season goes. At number 2, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to make a hot take. I want to lower the Eagles, but somehow they got better. And you're going to see a repeat of what they did last year, and they're going to tell the entire NFL, you couldn't stop us last year. You're not going to be able to stop us this year. And at 1, I've got the Las Vegas Raiders. Jokes. The Raiders, in my lifetime, have never been the best team in the NFL. I'm 25, going on 26 years old. It's not changing this year. They're not going to be the best team either. Anyways, the Chiefs are extremely thin at wide receiver. They lost Juju this offseason. They're relying on a guy like Kadarius Toney to stay healthy. Sky Moore to pick up a huge load. Kelsey got a year older. I don't know if this guy's ever going to fall off or this guy's ever going to age, but he got a year older. Chris Jones needs an extension desperately, and I don't know if he's going to take a discount for them or not. I know that he said he wants to retire Chief. He wants to be a Chief forever, but he also should get the biggest contract ever at his position. So we'll see how that goes. They lost multiple pieces on the offensive line, and they did bring in replacements, but they don't always gel. They don't. It's not always a perfect fit every single time you replace 3 members of the O-line every single year. The defense is still relying on the DC, Spagnuolo, to piece it together every single season, which he somehow figures it out. And Mahomes is in legal trouble. Well, his little brother is in legal trouble. So there's all these signs and all these reasons for me to knock the Chiefs down and predict they're going to win 9 games again this year like I did last year. But I can't. They've earned my respect. I can't do anything but just watch and hate. Watch and hate. That's all I can do.
Chargers at 10, right, Mike, is what you said. Chiefs at number 1.
I feel like your love for Doug Peterson is like way too much hatred because of Brandon Staley, right? Like, yeah. I think Doug's that guy. Doug's that coach. He's that dude. He's going to get it done. And they do have the benefit, right? Because this is always where like the exercise starts to get skewed a little bit. Are we talking about how the records are going to finish? Because like, yes, the Jaguars should win 12 games this year just based on the division they play in. They should be able to finish with a better record. I'm talking about like what team is better. Like what team is better? And to me, the Chargers are better than the Jaguars. It just,
to me, like I said, it depends. With Calvin Ridley and another year with Doug Peterson, if Trevor Lawrence takes the leap to arguably best quarterback in the league, that's what I think takes them to the next level. And I got faith that it's happening, guys. Y'all are acting like I got the Chargers at 20.
You just said Trevor Lawrence could be the best quarterback in the league when all you talk about as a Charger fan is Justin Herbert this, Justin Herbert that. And now you're saying Trevor Lawrence over 1 playoff game? It's okay, Mike.
Expelled my doubts for the Chargers. And it's the same doubts that we all should have, okay? It's the same doubts that have plagued the Chargers seasons.
I just was going to say this. We can move away from the Chargers because I agree. The Jets at 4, it's when you're bringing in Aaron Rodgers it does like bring what the team's capabilities are above, but it also throws in that big wrench what we were talking about when we opened the show. Is like, if it doesn't go right, then what? Does it start to go sideways? The questions from the media, is he going to be able to sit there and go, hey, everybody, RELAX or whatever, when he spelled relax that one time? Yeah. I don't think that's going to be the same energy. So that number feels high, but I get what you're saying. If we're just basing it on paper, that Jets roster and that everything, like the Jets it's crazy what they have on that football team. We're just three friends who love talking about football, but we're always looking for a fourth. So please consider hitting the subscribe button and becoming a number 4.